Hey guys, new video here. Answering the question, is it worth running a beast split grand contracts? In my opinion, I'll try to talk about how I feel about it. I ran 7 of them last night. TLDR, I made about 38 exalts, tracking through excellence, and then I spent on those 7. I spent about 3 exalts each. So first, what are beast split blueprints? Because a lot of people ask this, and they are basically this. If you look at all of these things right here, they are exactly the same blueprint. See, the way that you can see the rewards that are in there is you can push your advanced item hotkey. So first you have to go to options, and I think it's in like UI or something. It's like enable advanced mod description or something. Your default key is gonna be Alt, right? I think when you press Alt, mine's on F just because it's easier for my hands. So when I press my item advanced descriptions, I will see all the rewards, and you're like, wow, dude, every single one of these blueprints is the same thing. And the most important thing to note is that this one's really good. Why? Because it has 17 currency thingies, right? So 17 currency rooms is pretty insane, right? Because that means a currency room is like basically a locked room. It's like something you have to send your rogue in to like unlock the door, right? Rather blowing it up or doing the agility, right? Lock picking it, you know, the usual, same as a contract. And behind each of these doors is actually 2 chests, so that 17 is actually doubled. So there's like 34 of these chests that have a burst of currency. And if you've run any contracting at all, you know that if you have remember, you can bring 3 rogues with you. So if you have gear on your rogues, for example, 15% chance to duplicate contained currency on the rogues that are part of that thing. And then of course you have a Vindiri, he can like just double the chest and all this good stuff, right? All the bonuses coming together will make it so you have a very good chance to make a lot of money. And alongside this, you can even get trinkets like this. This one's like pretty damn good, but there's even better ones out there. You can get like this, and you can get like chance to duplicate currency. You can get this and like a 1% chance for the Chow's orbs to become exalts. And it just gets really, really crazy, and it just scales up. And I would say no matter what you spend on these, you're gonna make that back very quickly. I spent 36 exalts on this one, and I have already pretty much covered 2/3. I think at least have gotten at least 2/3 of that value, probably like 20 something exalts, probably like high 20 something exalts back in exalt drops in the heist in the last couple days that I've had it. So it's really crazy. And then once you pay for it, right, prices are kind of fluctuating a little bit because it's evening out. People are like, is it worth it? Do I want to buy it? People are just running their Grand Heists now after the big patch. So we have to see how this evens out. So if you're a little bit wary, or you're trying to get your badge or your headhunter or your other big items, maybe get those first. It's not like it's pretty good, but like maybe wait to see where the price settles at. So what this does is that every time inside of the heist, if a regal orb were to drop, well, then 4% chance. And we were looking at our data from, if you watch my previous videos about the headhunter from just running contracts, let's say you drop like 100 regals, it is pretty likely you'll get at least 4 exalts in there. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but it will average out to be 4 exalts out of every regals, out of all the regals you drop for your runs. And before you get into like saying like regals don't drop or whatever, both the days that I was like tracking my regals, I had like 100 regals drop one day, like 102 regals drop one day, and the second day I had like 160 regals drop. So it does drop, and quite frequently in these chests. I'll give you a little bit of an update on the headhunter project thingy. It took like 2.5 days to farm it. It was, the final stats on it was 160 something regular contracts run and 8 blueprints run. That was what was necessary for Ouch and Go to farm the headhunter. So pretty good, right? If you just want to like blast through that and then just like convert all the currency by your headhunter, whatever. Okay, sorry, I digress. The point of this video is to talk about the Grand Heist, okay? So you'll notice that those currency rooms are what you're after. Later on in the league, you might want to test out other things, like maybe there's other rooms that are really good, but for now this is like a really crazy one, right? Because if you look at average blueprints here, let's go into the blueprint locker here. Now these are some legacy ones, so they won't be as good, but like you see how like the currencies on the left side here, they're like not that great. Let me pull up some new ones that are like post patch that aren't legacy. Okay, see this one has 6 currency, this one has 6, this one has 6, this one has 3, this one has 5, this one has 2, and this one has 3. So it's actually like extremely rare that you get this many currency rooms. Okay, so remember, it's all about playing with the synergies. Okay, you have the you have obviously the fully leveled rogues. You have the you try to get the min-max rogue gear to be very conducive to dropping currency. You get a trinket, the best one that you can afford or find on the market, because right now I don't think there's any 4%, 1% trinkets on the market. But you put on the best trinket you can afford or can get on the trade site, and then you just go to town. Let me tell you why these are. Let's talk about the pros and the cons first. Okay, I'll list all the pros and then all the cons. So the pros are, these are actually ouch and go, and the reason these are ouch and go is because once you kind of split them, all you gotta do, right, is go to your planning room, and some of them when they split, they actually have like all the people assigned already. So or if they're not, for whatever reason, you can, or if you want to change the people, you know, you can just go in here and then you can change them up. But it's like super easy to get a nice flow of play going, right? Like maps is like all this like micromanagement garbage, okay? But contracts, heists, you just put it in, you talk to this girl, right? You can control click her to put the regular contract in. To get the Grand Heist, you need to talk to her and prepare Grand Heist. Same way that if you need to vendor the things for coins, you can just control click Faustus and it instantly opens up this. You don't have to like control click and then click on sell items. Okay, so you know, prepare Grand Heist, right? Begin heist, boom, you're off to the races. You just go, you loot all the stuff, right? You come back to town, dump it, and then you go again. There's 4 wings. It's and it's a lot of play time for what you're getting. Okay. So the Grand Heist, you know, they took me a long time. I feel like 7 of these, I ran 7 of these last night, and it took me probably like 2 hours. It was actually like, I was like, whoa, you know, because I was like static. I mean, I'm streaming, so I'm like talking to people sometimes, so I take little breaks. But yeah, it takes a longer time to run than your average contract, or even your, I would say even your juiced map, like full deli map or whatever. And so it's good to be in content, doing content, instead of sitting in your hideout and like micromanaging and stuff. So that's another good thing about it. Next is very exciting. So there are 4 wings in this version. If you have beast split, this one, beast splitting just means duping. It's a beast called the Phenomenal Plagued Arachnid, and the Phenomenal Plagued Arachnid splits it in 2. Oh, Lily, hello. My dog is here, and so it splits it in 2 so that you. And the reason that you do this, right? Because I have this contract here. This is the base. Okay, I bought this base from someone for like 200 and something C, and the base is what you use to roll and split it infinitely. Okay, and as long as you keep one base, you can continue to infinitely split with the Phenomenal Plagued Arachnid. One crazy thing about this is that because they're split, they're all the same, and it is kind of exciting to go into the 4 wings and kind of know what you're gonna get. Okay, for example, in mine, when you go in, there's one wing that's kind of longer. It's like kind of weird because you know, it's like the orientation of it makes it so that like if you want to play with the alert bar and like the lockdown timer, it's a little bit harder. But then there's like this other wing that has like, you know, like just so many currency chests in there. It's like crazy, right? So like you get to know the wings and play around that. To explain this a little bit more, the layouts are all the same. Okay, so imagine if you run a map. You know, there's like sometimes maps are like shifted around. Like maybe like the boss room is like up here. Like think of like Underground Sea, right? Underground Sea. Sometimes the boss tunnel will be in the top right. Sometimes it'll be in top left. Right, and you're like, oh, which way is it? And it's kind of like the orientation is good. In here, it's always the same. There's 4 wings, and every wing functions exactly the same. It's the same rogue job. It's the same types of monsters, and it is the exact same orientation in order to get to the reward room. And all the doors, all the chests are in the same place. This lets you play in a way that like you know exactly like how you're gonna strategize and pick up all the chests, and how you're gonna get out of there, right? If you have like extra exit rooms and stuff. So kind of cool to see that like every single time, and it leads to a lot of excitement in these rooms. Okay, another pro of these is it is pretty good money. So my stats are, I'm looking at my excellence next, and that's just a tool for tracking. I made 2,500 C, about 2,497 C over 7 of these, right? That's about 38 exalts. They cost 3 exalts each, by the way, because of the beast. The beast is like really the only part, because once you have the original contract, the beast is 3 exalts. Okay, so you need to make at least 3 exalts. So 3 times 7, I needed to make 21 exalts of value. I set my excellence next to be threshold 3 and stack size 3. Stacks threshold 3. What that means is that if an item is worth less than 3C, according to current prices on PB Ninja and stuff like that, it won't count it. So some garbage essence that you're never going to sell, or div card, it won't sell. However, like a stack size, let's say like you have a stack dick, you know, some smaller currency that's stacked stacks up to be much more than 3C, right? Obviously, then it will count that. So very fair, very conservative, and that is how I got this final number. So 38 minus the 21. That's 17 exalts made, okay? One thing to keep in mind is that when you are buying these beasts, you're either going to be spending exalts or C, and so what you're going to look at is you will get some exalts back. Like I think I returned in 7, I returned 12 pure exalts when you count pure exalts and like the shards that added up to a pure exalt, and so that's really nice, right? Because the other gumball currency is like the actual like good stuff that you want, like, you know, C, ouch, fusings, you know, even horizon orbs, divines, you know, harvest, things that you can actually convert into exalts, which is kind of nice. And you will drop a lot of exalts if you have the trinket. I wouldn't run it without the trinket though. I think it's like kind of scuffed, but I digress. Other pros of this are that if you get this on a nice heist target, you see that first line, heist target, thieves, trinkets, or currency, that can be kind of fun. So here's what I think about the heist target. It is kind of secondary to farming the currency rooms in here. Okay, so you're going in here and you're expecting big currencies, like raw currencies out of these rooms. You are not going here because you think that the heist target is going to be something crazy, okay? Because if you get a 4% regal to exalt and a 1% or whatever C to exalt, you're going to have multiple mirrors, right? Great. It's a very bursty amount of money that you can get, but you shouldn't rely on it. So although whatever you choose, just know that, like, let's say you get like gems or replica uniques. Yeah, there's some that are worth over an exalt, right? Or some are many exalts. You might get those sooner than a really, really good thieves trinket. And the currency is like some of the other currencies you get in here for thieves trinkets or currency are kind of trash. You might get silver coins, chance swords, fusings, whatever. So with the gems and the replicas, you might get like that 1 exalt plus item sooner, right? Like less variance. But on the thieves trinkets or currencies, what I'm running here is kind of like the big RNG aspect, okay? Because you need a really good trinket, but if you do get one, it could be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, multiple mirrors. It could be like a lot higher value than the other things. So, but don't worry too much about that. Just know that I'm running these because of the currencies, okay? So other pros about it is that it really makes you hone in on the league. Like, for example, when it comes to gear, right, for your rogues, it actually makes you go to like PoEDB because you want to know, hey, are there any suffixes, prefixes that I could possibly get to kind of like synergize with this playstyle? Now, I went in with less than optimal gear. I don't have legacy cloaks on my dudes. I do have tier 1, the current tier 1 rolls for reduction on the cloaks on everybody, but I don't have like the legacy one, so I should probably get that, right? And I had to roll this tier 1 and then divine it to 15% duplication of currency on every single rogue that's part of the Grand Heists. And this is kind of cool because you learn more about the rogue gear. You learn more about like why it's expensive, how hard is it to roll, and this can like factor into the economy. It's also cool because, like I said earlier, these contracts are all exactly the same. There's like look at the tooltips, right? They're all the same. They're all the same rooms and stuff, which means the rogues that you use in each one is also the same. So I typed out the people I use. So I know in this one I use Karst, Tibbs, Ninette, Vindiri, Isla, and Gianna, and actually no, I don't use the net. I use Talina and Isla and Gianna. Okay, so I know that I need like the tier 1 stuff, or at least like very close to that on those people. So you get to hone in, like laser focus. If you want to do this all league long, or maybe even for a few days or a week or something like that, you only need to focus on those rogues, and it's super nice because you're rolling all the gear at once, all the same way. And then if you want, you can have like other gear, like in my previous video, you can have the specific contract only brooch or something else that you can swap in, right? Just keeping a different tab. So that's kind of nice that that it gives you something to min-max other than your character, and on average it is cheaper to gear than your character, right? Because you're gearing up like there's like 9 people here. Okay, Huck is complete garbage, by the way. So there's actually 8 people here. Like Huck is like subhuman rogue. Okay, don't even use them for anything unless you're just starting the game and leveling up. Don't use Huck. So there's 8 rogues, and on average, I found it extremely easy to at least get like the basic like good rolls on everything. Watch my previous video for more info on that. And That's super fun if you like these little sorts of things. Like, you ever played Assassin's Creed? There's that one, I think, that you had like little followers, you send them on missions. If you like WoW garrison missions, it's kind of like that. It's like, oh, let's upgrade my guy. Get level him up. It's kind of cool, right? And when they get the plus level stuff working on the gear, that might be pretty cool if you can get plus job levels and increases the bonuses even more. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. So so min-maxing the rogues was really, really fun. And overall, I had an okay time. Made money, didn't lose money. That's always good. And people like watching this kind of stuff because you do drop a lot of raw exalts, and that's always fun too. Okay, let's talk about the cons. So what are the cons of this? And because a lot of people are doing this and everyone's like speaking very highly of this, the cons are there can be a lot of variance. Okay, so what do I mean by that? This trinket is reliable in the sense that over a long period of time you'll drop a lot of exalts, right? Like, there hasn't been a day since I equipped it that I didn't drop at least 10 exalts, okay? Sometimes more. And so however, there was a streak today, not a streak, there was a contract where I went in and I didn't get any exalts. Like, I was like, if the contract itself costs 3 exalts, because that's the price of the beast that dupes that's the price of the beast that dupes the blueprint. Like, I kind of want to at least drop like 1 or 2 exalts pure and then have all the gumball currency so I can feel good, right? But like, if you don't drop any exalts or you don't get like anything, it sucks, right? It feels really, really bad. And a big con is that you cannot actually sustain this if you're just starting out, right? If you only have like 10 exalts in your tab, and you buy like, let's say you buy the base contract, right? And then you spend another 6 exalts to buy 2 beasts, and you split it twice, and you can run it twice. You might, it might be a little bit iffy if you don't get like the exalts on those runs, okay? So variance is high, but over over the 7 I made the 17 exalts, okay? And that's like the major like barrier to entry. Another thing is that there's a lot of doors. So there's 17 rooms of just currencies. I did get the other things a lot too, but like, I did go for those, but obviously they were my priority list was currency and then the other ones. And there's a lot of doors, okay? You're waiting for the doors, and the masters are pretty fast now, but you're waiting for the doors. Oh, the doors open, open the loot. You gotta click on a lot of loot, man. There is a lot of loot on the ground, a lot of currency, thankfully, so it stacks up nicely in your inventory without taking up too much space. But there is a lot of clicking. There is so much clicking, Jesus Christ. And then if you don't like being stressed, like if you accidentally hit the alert timer, there's some scary mobs, maybe you don't know what to choose, you don't like price checking things maybe at the end, or like you don't know what's valuable because you haven't played enough, or on the way back you got open doors again. It's like, it can be a little bit much sometimes, okay? And remember, there's 4 wings, so you have to do this 4 times. So you're kind of in it for the long haul contract. You're gonna step in, do one, oh great, oh I gotta do something else, okay, I can go. Blueprints, you can't really do that. You have to like get there, you gotta loot, you gotta dump the stuff, and then go back in 3 more times for 3 more wings. That's another con that people probably won't like, because if you do a Gianna contract, okay, like a deception, or somehow you do an agility and you can survive the lasers like running through them, when you go in there's doors, but on your way out it's like just awesome. It's like you're like Forrest Gump, just running through everything and nothing can stop you, right? So running out of a regular contract, it feels so nice, especially if you have a head runner or you have a really fast build. But in these blueprints, just be prepared to be waiting a lot. You're waiting for the door, the little progress bar to tick up. If you have Gianna with you, she might bug out a little bit. You might have to like hit things twice, right? It's kind of like more stress and more like just waiting and more clicking. So that's kind of a bad thing. Also, there's a lot of trade associated with setting up your initial pool. So I keep coming back to this. The Phenomenal Plagued Arachnid Beast, you pretty much have to buy it one at a time. There are, like, when you look at account names, okay, on the official trade site, pathofexile.com/trade, and you search Phenomenal Plagued, one little thing you can do is look for the same account name on the right side listed multiple times, and that means they have more than one. But when I was looking earlier during prime time hours, like 9 p.m., 8 p.m., things like that, I could only find people that had like 3, like the most, right? Like they had 3. And if they did have more than that, it was like way down the list. That was, you're paying a hefty premium for bulk, but that's how PoE is. And so you might not like trading. In fact, I bought 20 of these contracts, right? And it was like a 62 exalt cost. That is how much I need to make back off 20 of these contracts to break even. I'm very certain that I will based on today's results. However, I like thought about what I would have to do for that. I would have to do all the trades, and then I have to not only would I have to trade, I'd have to craft the map, split it, go to the menagerie, split it, right? Go on a different character, because my Spectre guy would be the one that, because you don't want to fail the fight, right? You fail the Phenomenal Plagued Arachnid fight in the menagerie, you lose 3 exalts. So I have to go to a different character, my Spectre character, to do the fight, and then like roll it again, and then like you gotta trade these like one at a time, like 20 trades, 20 visits to menagerie. Oh my god! And then it's so annoying, right? So that is one factor. If you hate trading, you might not like this after, you know, because you gotta set up every pool. But that's like the only part that's kind of like the micromanagement of the maps, right? So that's a bit much. And then another thing is just like it's not as smooth, I guess, as the just running like the contracts and stuff, right? So once again, the contracts took like a little over 2 days to farm a headhunter, just ouch and go. These you're gonna make much more profit, but it's like it just feels weird. It feels a little bit weird. To people who just want to go and have nothing to think about, right? The contracts are very mindless, although the blueprints are not. Also, another thing about these contracts is that if you don't know already, you can anytime before lockdown, like let's say you drop a mirror before lockdown, if you pick it up, you can leave the contract or the blueprint, like go out backwards, click to go back to like the portal where Adia is like summoning the portal, like the little courtyard area, and then it's yours forever. It removes the contraband tag and you go back in. You don't want to do that, and you get to the end and the lockdown happens. If you don't have a very strong character or very fast character, there's actually a chance that you can die, because some of these rolls, although not as crazy as maps sometimes, when I've been corrupting these, they don't actually go into 8 mod as much as maps do, I feel. So they're not really that nuts. And then also the bad rolls are much less prevalent, and the reason for that is because on these things, you see that roll that says like total heist fee and stuff like that. That stuff like counteracts like the bad mods, because if one of those shows up, you're probably not gonna get another bad one. It's less likely to get another bad mod, right? So there's like contract and heist specific mods that kind of like they kind of like dilute the pool of bad mods. So that's really nice. But you know, if you have a weak build, it's gonna suck, right? When you die with, you know, even like 10 exalt shards. I died actually earlier today with 12 exalted shards. I was like, oh man, you know, because that's a lot of money, and all the other like gumball currency that was in that wing. So that's kind of weird. If you're having crashes, I should say as well, if you're having like performance issues, crashes, or your character is very weak, and you can't really do it reliable without dying, then you actually can't get into it, because it's just not worth it to do. Okay. What else is a con of this? I guess another thing is that as of right now, I'd say more and more people are doing this, because more people are figuring out that it's actually not too bad to roll the rogue gear. It's actually not too bad to trade for it, even if you want the legacy cloak and everything. It's not even so bad to like, you know, get all the pieces together that allow you to go really ham in the contract and the heist. And what that means is that there's more like competition, kind of, in a way, right? Because you're not competing, there's no like ladder or anything. But if I want to buy, like, let's say I run the 13 that I have left, okay, because remember, I don't run the base one that I split myself. Then what that means is after I run these 13, if I want to run more, I'm still debating on that. If I want to run more, I have to buy more beasts. There's just no way around that, right? I have to. And so that means that me, along with everyone else that's finishing up their pool, has to buy a shit ton of beasts as well. And you can imagine what happens when something that's popular, that's like streamed, you know, like people dropping exalts left and right, and you do drop a lot of exalts, right? When people see that, they don't see the whole picture. They just see that, oh, I want to do that now. So then the market becomes like a little bit weird. So I would caution you, if you can't handle the swings in the market that might happen to like maybe a better contract comes out, right? Maybe there's something better than these rules, right? Like, what, someone discovers that this combination is better, or like this one has like the better masters for the missions and stuff like that, right? And all these things that could happen. And the Phenomenal Plague Arachnid price is like slowly like going up, right? So you need to make more to have the same amount of profit margin that you had like if you were like the first person to like split a bunch of these, right? There's a lot of things that are going to just squish how much money you're gonna make out of this, and most mostly you're doing it for the excitement of the like the exalt drops, you know, the cool drops. But like, let's be honest, we all want the monies, right? So it might get a little bit more squished later on. So that's another bad thing about it. But I'll kind of try to. I'm gonna finish up the ones I have, see if I enjoy this playstyle over Ouch and Go contracts, because I really love that. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so this was a longer video, I know, and yeah, I was talking for a while there. So yeah, TLDR of all this, you make a lot of money if you invest in your trinket, if you invest in your rogues, but there are bad sides to it as well, namely the trade aspects and the economy aspects, and it's kind of harder to get into. But overall, I'd say, so is it worth it? Is it worth running beast split contracts? Yeah, I guess it's cool for now. Like as the time of this video, it is the 8th of October at 9:37 a.m. and I'll be doing it again tonight, and we'll see how the market and the economy and all that stuff like comes together. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of weird, but you know, the league's pretty fun now. So try it out, you know, if you can, if you have. But if you're really struggling on monies and you just don't know, just stay away. Just do your contracts, man. You're gonna be totally fine. All right, if you have any other questions, I stream every day in the evenings on twitch.tv/qtug_. And I'll see you guys there. Thank you guys for watching my video. Okay, bye guys, bye.